Welcome everyone to the Odoo Experience 2021. My name is Nils van Oosten and I'll be talking to you about free apps in Odoo, or in other words, hidden gems that will boost your employees' productivity. But I won't be able to do this alone, so I got with me.
Hi folks, so my name is Greg and also I'll be here to help Nils to present you all those hidden gems we have inside Odoo.
So, what are the free apps actually? Now, before we go into the free apps, we just need to have a look at the different type of apps that we have. So, the first apps, the enterprise apps, you probably know them because those are the most popular. They cover the main activities that you do in any kind of organization, like sales and CRM. Those are the ones that are paid. We have around a bit over 30 of them today. Still quite okay for a company that offers 500 plus apps. So, what are the other 500? Well, the majority of them are free dependency apps. So, apps that are actually free if you have installed the, let's say, the enterprise app, the major app. Think about the barcode scanner for inventory management or the repair app for manufacturing. Those apps can be installed if it's dependent on your need, and there's no surcharge on it. But there are some apps that are truly 100% free and even standalone. So you can install them in any database and start working with them. Usually, these apps are for a random amount of activities that you have to do during the day. And it's, of course, in the logic of Odoo not to work with a second or third or fourth software to support something you have to do daily anyway. So let's have a look at those apps. And bear in mind that all these apps are available for all users. Sometimes even they don't need users, just employees, and they are integrated like you're used to Odoo. So they will either integrate with another free app or they can be integrated with something that exists. So we will not talk about some apps that there are dedicated talks about. So you can find the talks or the videos online. And those will be the survey app, the appraisal, because it uses survey in order to work. The discuss app, where Gregory actually does a dedicated talk on, and the referrals. But we will cover them briefly when necessary. Now, I will refer to Gregory to talk about the first subject, and that will be how do I keep my overview?
So thank you Nils. So here, how do I keep my overview within Odoo? So for that, we have set up different application to manage all your day-to-day activity from the different notes you want to take, like having the ability to record some tips and tricks. Here you might have received from your colleague, so tips and tricks, and then you can do a lot of things. So here tips 1, tip 2, etc. You can continue and organize all your personal notes within one single tool. You can of course share them with your colleague directly using the chatter based on discuss, and so interact on those notes to really keep all your information not maybe related to one specific business record within the database. So here, very easy app to use, very user friendly and very fast to use. Some other important topic he wants to address is how to keep track of your time and manage your day at work. For that, we have the calendar. Of course, this calendar is linked to your CRM or to any record using the activity from the chatter. So directly from there, you can schedule a meeting with anyone, with people known inside the database or with external people. And of course, everything can be linked to your Google Agenda. And here, all synchronized bidirectional. And so here, if I look on the page, I can see that automatically, without having done anything, a new meeting has appeared, and this has been sent by my dear friend Nils, where he wants to discuss about our next step for the Odoo experience. So you can see that directly from there, you can monitor all your meeting, either internal or client meeting. But that's not only it. Of course, some people want to get in one screen all their relevant information in one single place. And for that, we have the dashboard place. And so here, on this view, you can customize the info you want to have displayed. Like here, I want to see my team at any time and see who is present, who is available for a talk, etc. from one place, but also seeing here all my number about my pipelines and also the sales I made. So here from one single place, I can monitor all my activities. And to add something here, only one click is required. If you take, for example, my notes, I want to have everything in one place. I can simply click here, add to my dashboard, directly here. A small refresh, and my notes are directly added from here. And you can, of course, interact from here. One last thing, so here, with the time, your database will increase. You will have more and more data, and sometimes you will get some duplicates. And for that, we have a data cleaning application that will help you to keep your database in a good shape. So here, directly from here, from that time, you can go in this application to check what needs to be done, what needs to be merged together to really keep your database clean. Of course, you can decide that those are not duplicates, and you discard, say, I don't want to merge that. You can merge them, of course. Here, confirmation, I do it, and directly all the records are merged together. And this is not static, of course. So here you can define all the rules you want to have, either manual or automatic, and decide how you want to identify those duplicates. So here, all those applications here helps you to keep control on your day-to-day application activities. So here, I spoke about the note, the calendar, the discuss, dashboard, some discussion about the synchronization with Google, and the data cleaning. And here, I will jump to another important question. And for that, I will leave the microphone to Nils. It's about to where do I leave my HR data?
Thank you, Greg. So where do I leave my HR data? Well, we already saw it very quickly when Gregory went over the employees, and I will come to there shortly. But there are two main applications that are completely free and that might help you to give you just that right amount of overview that you don't have today. So the first thing is the attendance. So the attendance will allow you on every morning when someone comes in, when they leave for lunch, and when they check back in, to understand when your employees are at the workforce, when they start and when they stop. Now, if you're using timesheet, this can be extremely helpful to balance the attendance of someone with the time that they actually work. In this case, for example, we see that Gregory has been checked in, and when he wants to check out, he just clicks on the button. And then we can see the total amount of time that he has worked. Now, the normal check-in, check-out will look like this on any screen. But if you have an iPad or a PC and somewhere on a central area, you can also use the kiosk mode. And the kiosk mode can be used with a code, a PIN code, or a badge to scan. And this will allow someone to scan and in and out very easily. And there will be, of course, reporting on this in order to see exactly who worked how many time during a single day, month, or even year. Now, there's a video about this from Amy, so don't hesitate to have a look at that. Another video from Amy is about fleet, so I won't go too much into detail, but fleet management is, of course, extremely useful for any HR or fleet manager to know which cars there are in the pool and who's driving them and how many kilometers that car has driven. We can assign it to a driver which is an employee. We can also assign it to anyone else outside of the organization. For example, if you lend your cars to someone. And in this case, I know that Azure is going to be my future driver. So I can apply the new driver, and Odoo will directly make that switch. And the useful thing about the fleet management is that it will save your history and it will update the cards automatically. So in this case, I see the history of all my drivers over the past months or years. I can go back to my car. I can include a contract that I have with the leasing company, for example. Who is the responsible? Which kind of car is it? And what does it cost per month? All these details will be kept centralized and for you to view at any given moment. There's also a reminder when a contract expires, so you never go over your contract or stand on Monday morning with 3 cars just being picked up by the leasing company. Now, one last thing about the fleet management, which is quite interesting, is the service. Whenever there's a new service, it will update the major card. So if we replace the tires again, I will just put it now that it's a major repair and maintenance. There's a cost of €1,000, and driver drove a lot last year. And whenever I fill in a service or update one of these cards, my major card will also be updated. So whenever you make any changes, it will appear on the fleet. And Odoo wouldn't be Odoo if this would not just be kept in the fleet management. We'll view back all this information on our major employee cards. So where we can see all our employees, and on the left you have all the departments, so I can drill down from any type of department to who is in that particular department or in that particular role. And if I would go back to management, for example, and I want to see Gregory, I can see exactly how long he has been present, how many hours he has been working last month, the contract that he has, and if he has a car, it will also appear there. And I believe one of the ones that we have here must have a car or a last appraisal. On the appraisal, again, there's a dedicated talk around this, so go ahead and have a look at this one. Now, another thing that's interesting about the employee cards are two free apps that you can install about the CV. So, what kind of role has someone had in the past years? You can just add an experience or an education or a certification by simply creating another line on the CV. So, for example, they have been working for Odoo. It's a normal experience. It started from last September. If I save and close, it would just appear in the chronicle order on the experiences. Same thing with the skills. You can create skills in the configuration. You define what the percentage represents the type of experience. But if I want to add, for example, a skill for language, this person speaks French and her level is, pretty good. B2 is configured as 75%, and it will help me to get a good overview on all my different employees, which languages they speak. So if I need someone for a particular activity, or if I'm a recruiter and I have a pool of employees that I need to place for a mission, I can easily find back who I want to do that. So those are some of the hidden gems on the employee side. As a reminder, we have the employees with the skills and the contract linked to it. We have the fleet and the attendants as standalone apps to track what kind of cars they have or how long they have worked. And we have the appraisals. I didn't spend too much time on that, so have a look at that dedicated talk. Now, the third and the last subject that we will speak on today, and I will actually ask Greg to do that, is how to make work fun. Greg, can you do that?
Yes, of course, Neil. So here, how do I keep work fun? So you know that Odoo, we don't like to be super formal. So here, to break this, so what we did is to implement some few features that helps you to keep your employee motivated and to get some fun feedback and some fun elements from their activity. Imagine you arrive in the morning, we have a full inbox, and then you finish the cleaning of it, and then what a great surprise! So somebody here is congratulate you that you have done this. So your inbox is now empty. But that's not only it. Sometimes you also want to congratulate your colleagues. You say, okay, you're a good guy, you are brilliant, you helped me through some difficult topic, so we can directly give something here, like a medal. But of course, sometimes you cannot really, of course, auto-congratulate yourself. So here, simply here, see, you will not do it. Of course, here, using this, you can also define some more, I can say, HR target or some target defined to related to your job, like sales targets. How many invoice did you send? How much money you invoice to your client? And for that, you can also track all the success you might have. So here, as you can see, in this case, Nils is not in a good shape for this month. He did not invoice anything to his client. But here, it's all virtual. Here, sometimes you want to give some real goodies, like a shoe. And for that, you can use the referral application, where you can here fall into a win-win situation, where the employee gets some goodies, and the employee and the company gets new talents thanks to their employee within a very nice interface where you can have like a gang of superheroes that will help you to gather all your friend within the application. But that's not only it. One last element here, very important to keep your employee happy, is to help them get fed and their belly filled. So here, directly, very nice interface where you can directly order your food for lunch and add, of course, some notes if you don't like here, oops, no cheese, for example. And directly from here, you add it to your card and then you order your lunch. And that's it. Then some person within your organization will just forward the order to the supplier and everyone will be happy because they will eat what they want. So to summarize, how do I make work fun? So we have the gamification where you give the virtual goodies, the referral where you receive real goodies, the Rainbow Man to give some fun feedback to somebody when they do some activities, and then the lunch where you get people fed easily. I will invite Nils to come back here next to me to tell you that you can start using those applications in two ways. So using your own database by, of course, for safety reason, using a duplicate. Do
Of
not
course.
mess with your product database. And the other way to do on odoo.com/start.
So we hope you enjoyed these explanations about the hidden gems in Odoo. Odoo has a lot of great features to motivate your employees and to keep that overview. So have a try. And if you have any questions, put them in the chatter and we'll answer them right now. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for presenting, Greg.
Thank you too.
You had
To be part-
fun?
yeah, of course, a lot of fun.
All right, good. We got a couple questions in the chat, so if you have any questions still, let's keep them coming so we treat them one by one. Just before we start treating the question, Greg, do you have
Yep.
a favorite of the apps?
The free apps?
Yep.
Yes, of course. So here, my first favorite app would be Discuss as a free app. So it's a brand new feature in V15 where you can really discuss. That's the basic of the presentation here, and the app where you can share your screen, you can make voice calls, you can make webcam calls. So a lot of features that can really help a lot on boost your productivity and without having to jump from one software to another. What about you, Nils? Which one would you pick?
I would pick the dashboard. It's been there since ages. It's easy to
Mm.
install, and you can really personalize an overview of all the different things that you want to see. And it's literally one click to create it and one click to create every dashboard. So I
Yeah,
would
you're
do
right.
so. On the Discuss, you made a dedicated talk, right?
Yep.
So if somebody wants to see that, go to the talk. It was earlier today, but all the Odoo Experience talks will be published on YouTube as well. So we got a few questions. The first question is on the data cleaning app. Is it for any business object in Odoo, or are some exempt for it?
No. So here we made this application, this free application here, totally flexible. So you can really create rules on any business object within Odoo, and you can define any rules you want. So and target, I can say, related fields. So to point read all the information you want to highlight or to take into account to identify duplicates within a given business object.
All right, nice. There was another question from Holly about the list of free apps. I can answer it if you
Yep.
want, because
Yeah, please go.
there is no real dedicated list. This is actually why we decided to do this talk today, so you can have an overview of the apps that are truly 100% free. Now, of course, if you're not 100% sure, if you have an Odoo database, an enterprise database, duplicate it first and install an app. You will get a message if it is a dependency. So you're 100% sure that you don't install anything paid in your production database, and that's the most important of managing your
Yep.
processes, of course. Another question, synchronizing with Outlook as well as Google. I believe that here we speak about the calendar,
Yep.
since you had the direct integration with the calendar.
Yep.
Same for Google Outlook?
Yeah, the same. So here you can reintegrate your calendar with any, I can say, providers such as Google or Outlook. And so yeah, so you can plan meetings from Google and you get back it in Odoo. You can send it from Odoo and it gets synchronized with your Gmail agenda. And so the same when people are inviting you to a meetings. So directly it arrives in your Odoo agenda directly from there. So easy to monitor all your planning or all your activity within Odoo.
And Outlook is free as well, the
Yep.
integration.
Yep.
No. Okay, good. Then there is a question about the fleet management if it's integrated. Can do business solutions. I would refer you back to the keynote speaking. I think Wienand had
Yeah.
a brief introduction about any cost that you would have, and you can relate an analytical account with the fleet to a dedicated car. So yes, it's integrated with the accounting. Another question: maintenance for fleet repairment. So I
Mm.
guess we're speaking about the maintenance app
The,
if we can use it on the fleet. Are you aware of
yeah,
this?
it's not that those two apps are not connected because here the fleet is really to handle, I can say, your fleet of car, maybe like as a company, like Odoo, we have company car, but we do not do all the maintenance or the repair by ourselves. So here, that's why here we did not, I can say, integrate those two applications. But that's
Hmm.
why we integrate the fleet application with the accounting, where you can record, I can say, any vendor bill and link it to a particular car. So all the costs are tracked directly and assigned to a given car.
Yep, perfect. Well, there are two questions that are on Slack, so I will first handle them.
Mhm.
If it's integrated, Discuss and Slack, well, no,
No.
it's completely
Yeah.
separated. We develop the Discuss ourselves. And of course, the great question: can we stop using Slack?
Yeah, of course you have to and switch to Odoo Discuss. So here you can, I can say, communicate directly with anyone from your database within this Discuss app, but also you can also discuss with external people, with your client, with your vendor. You can invite them to have a voice call where, with screen sharing, you can directly ping people within the Odoo Discuss. So everything is integrated. So yes, you should move to Odoo Discuss.
All right. Magdalena has a question about the integration of the calendar view from other apps with the main calendar.
Mm.
Well, views are views, and the calendar is the calendar for your personal appointments. Can we say something about the differences and why we did not
No.
link them for now?
Yeah, so the idea was to really keep, I could say, the calendar app for, I can say, meetings, calls, etc., and have, I could say, different views on other business model within Odoo, and to not, I can say, mess or mix everything into one view. Otherwise, then the view will become too messy and almost unusable. So that's why here we decide to have different, I can say, calendar view. If you want to see the calendar of your task, you go in project. You want to see the calendar of, I can say, of your repair order, you go in the repair view. So here we decide to split those views for, I can say, a more easy to read views. But of course, you can reach and, like, say, any all the elements you have planned within the task manager you have on the top of the screen, where all the activity are listed and the thing you are assigned to.
Exactly. And we want to keep the overview as well. So if we
Yep.
put everything in one, now they could, of course, also use the dashboard,
Mm.
get an overview of each of their
Yep.
apps with the different activities and put them there so they're easily to find. The dashboard, I'm not sure if, I don't remember if we showed in the presentation, but all the views that you have in your dashboard, they're clickable.
Yep.
So whenever you have something, if you have an overview on your calendar, you can click on an event and you go directly there from your dashboard. Now there is a question about how to install Odoo. I think that's more a general question. You go
Mm.
to odoo.com/start or you download Odoo on premise and automatically all the system admins, they have access to the apps and there you find a list of all the apps. Just double check if the filter is well set.
Mhm.
Sometimes the filter is set on apps and you don't have all the smaller ones. But when you have an Odoo enterprise environment, you will be able to use them all. There's a question about the free app. Are there any
Mm.
new free apps launched on V15?
The Odoo Discuss, for example, is totally
Okay,
free. So here,
but it's
that's one of them.
improved. There's
Yeah,
no new
no,
new apps, new
it's
free apps.
really, I could say, more than just improved. It's really, I could say, a revamped totally because we bring a lot of new feature and we add like a totally new layer on top of the, I could say, the chatter that we had before.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, good. So I think that we have almost all of the questions answered. There's a comment about that it's difficult to answer to schedule meetings between colleagues. But okay, you on the calendar
Yeah,
itself you can see multiple
yeah.
colleagues, right?
You can see the calendar, you can see who is available when, and see and have everything and say displayed. And if the person is not part of the database, then of course we'll have to, can say, double check with the other person if he is available for that meeting. But here we have, I can say, the same constraint as we have, I can say, in Google Agenda. But basically, you can really see when you are available or not within Odoo.
All right. So I see no more questions are coming up, but I do have a question for you,
Yeah.
Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
You've been implementing Odoo with a lot of different companies.
Mm-hmm.
This talk was mainly about the true free apps
Mm-hmm.
that we had. Now, what are the kind of dependency apps that you enjoy the most and that you would advise to someone if they're using a certain
Mm-hmm.
app, go and use that particular
Yeah.
dependency app as well?
Yeah, you're right, because here our talk was focused really on free app, like isolated free apps, but then you have a lot of, I can say, dependencies that add a lot of new feature or improve the usability of any feature. For example, I would go for the barcode scanning. If you use inventory, you must install as well and use the barcode scanning because it really helps the people from your warehouse to go faster and be more efficient, to not having to use always a laptop or a tablet to make their operation. They can directly scan with a barcode scanner or with a mobile phone. So really easy to walk and do their job within the warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah,
That would be
I
the one.
would recommend the same. It's free and it will make it easy. And you don't even need a dedicated barcode scanner, right? You can
Yeah.
just use any kind of your phone. There are
Mm-hmm.
some free apps to do
Yep.
barcode scanning from your phone. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the Q&A. So we would like to thank everyone for watching this demonstration and this talk. Obviously, we do want to remind you once again that if you want to try any of the apps, Odoo V15 is already out now, so you can go to odoo.com/start. If you are a user of Odoo either online or either on premises, make a copy of your database first,
Mm.
give it a try, invite some key users in order to have that first experience with some free apps. And yeah, just enjoy, get the most out of Odoo. And I'm sure that anyone at Odoo will be more than happy to
Yeah.
help to guide you in the right direction. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you,
And
Nils, for being part of this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we do.
definitely see you around,
Yeah.
everyone.
See you. Bye bye.